A very pleasant morning to you all, children. Let us continue with the discussion of the digestive system. Today we shall discuss about the role of the pancreatic juice in the digestion process. What is pancreas? As you can see in the diagram, it is a leaf-like structure, whitish gland present just below the stomach. It is a both heterocrine gland having both endocrine cells such as isolate cells of Langerhans and the exocrine part, that is the pancreatic cells which secrete the pancreatic juice. This is the duct through which the pancreatic gland secretes the pancreatic juice, and it is poured into the upper part of the small intestine, that is duodenum. Now, as you know already that the pancreatic juice, they also contain some digestive enzymes. What are these? There are three types of enzymes. Clear? What are those? Amylopsin, trypsin and strypsin. Now, just like pepsin in the stomach, it was present in the form of pepsinogen that was made active by the concentrated HCl. Same way, here also trypsin is present in inactive form, that is trypsinogen. It is made into active form trypsin by the enzyme enterokinase. Clear? Now, what is the role of this trypsin? It will break down the leftover proteins in the form of peptides into further smaller products, that is the last product, amino acids or smaller peptides. Clear? In the stomach, the proteins were broken down into peptides or peptones. These peptides or peptones are further broken down, further digested into by the acted on upon by the enzyme trypsin to break down into amino acids or smaller peptides. Now, what is the role of the starch or the leftover starch which are digested in the mouth? As we had studied earlier, starch is broken down into maltose by the enzyme salivary amylase or ptyalin. But the leftover starch which were not digested in the mouth, they are further acted upon by pancreatic amylase and finally broken down into maltose. Clear? Now, then we have the emulsified fats. Emulsified fats means what? Fats are broken down into smaller globules by the help of bile juice secreted by the liver. These emulsified fats are acted upon by the next enzyme present in the pancreatic juice, trypsin, that breaks down into its final product, fatty acids and glycerol. Clear? As I told earlier, in the upper part of the small intestine, that is duodenum, the complete digestion of the food, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, nucleic acids, takes place here. So, as you can see in the diagram, liver secretes bile juice, pancreas secretes pancreatic juice, and the intestine also secretes intestinal juice. Now, what are the enzymes present in the intestinal juice? As you can see here, what do? They further break down, that is peptides. What is the enzyme? Erepsin or peptidases. Got it? What do? They finally break down the proteins which are in the form of smaller peptides into the simplest form, that is amino acids. What happens to the maltose? It is acted upon by the enzyme maltase to form glucose, the ultimate product, the final product. Similarly, we have got sucrose. They are acted upon by the enzyme sucrase. Where are these enzymes present? They are present in the intestinal juice. They break down sucrose into glucose and fructose. Clear? Next, we have the emulsified fats. Intestinal juice also contains the enzyme lipase, which break down any leftover emulsifieds into fatty acids and glycerol. Now, what do we find? That is the lactose, the milk sugar. It is acted upon by lactase and broken down into glucose and galactose. What we mean to say that in the duodenum, the pancreatic juice, the intestinal juice and the bile juice, they all act upon the food and finally break down into its final product. Clear? Now, what happens? The same way as I said, nucleic acid also, DNAs, they break down the DNA into its final product. RNAs, they act upon RNA. Clear? Now, then we come to the last part of the digestive system, that is the large intestine. Clear? It is about 1.5 meter long and it consists of caecum, colon and rectum. Caecum, it is a blind pouch that you can find that it is connected to the small intestine and has got a vermiform appendix. This does not play any role in the human being. It is a rudimentary structure which is functionless, do not have any function. Now, the food after in the lower part of the small intestine, they are absorbed by the ileum part which contains villi and microvilli. Now, the next part of the large intestine is colon, which is divided into three parts: ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon. It is about 1 meter long. Clear? Now what happens? The undigested food, they pass into the large intestine and as they move forward, the water present in the undigested food are reabsorbed by these walls. Got it? Now, why? To make it a semi-solid structure. So, the undigested food, as it passes down and reaches the rectum, it finally turns into a solid form. Where, what is the rectum? The last part of the large intestine, which is about 15 centimeter and it has an opening called anus. Now what happens? The undigested food is stored in the rectum and it is expelled out through the opening called anus. That process is called as defecation. D-E-F-A-E-C-A-T-I-O-N. Got it? Now this undigested food or stools, or we say feces, it contains 75% liquid, that is water, and 25% solid. So under that solid, what do we have? We have the dead bacteria, 10 to 20% fats, 2 to 3% proteins and 30% roughage. So this is how the whole digestive system works. You can write down the composition of the feces. What is the composition of feces? If you are asked, you can write this: 30% dead bacteria, 10 to 20% fats, 2 to 3% proteins and 30% roughage. Clear? So that is all for this session. Stay home, be safe. If you have any doubts, you can clarify it. Ask me any questions regarding this. And remember the location of the position of the different parts of the digestive system. One thing, as I had already mentioned about the glottis, that is the opening of the windpipe is called as glottis. So when the food is swallowed, in that case a small flap-like structure called epiglottis covers it so that the food does not enter the windpipe. In case it happens so, the person starts coughing so that the food is thrown out from the mouth. Clear?